it's on the odd number year. So 2019, it comes up, and then we'll hear it in 2021.
Well, I can tell you, Coach Payton, you win a Super Bowl here in New Orleans, Jerry Jones will be willing to give you $20 million a year, and all of a sudden you can.
Oh man!
No, I'm being totally objective.
I know, but I'd like to keep him here.
But I know
that's clearly the plan. That's clearly the plan.
Thanks
I got Florida League tattoos that can't be erased.
That was Sean Payton last week on WWL Radio. Look, he's the Saints head coach. He's on a New Orleans station. When they ask him about possibly coaching the Dallas Cowboys, the last thing he's going to say is, yeah, I can't wait to quit as coach of the Saints and go coach the Cowboys. It's a situation where you must take the position that you're all in with the Saints. But, Shireen, you cover the Cowboys. You've heard the rumors for years. They're never going to go away until Sean Payton retires from football completely and entirely. That link is there. That connection is there, and all due respect, I mean, like I said, he can't say what's really going on, and I think what's really going on is he's keenly aware that no coach has won a Super Bowl with two different franchises. He'd like to be the first, and there may be an opportunity to pursue a championship with the Dallas Cowboys coming up as soon as 2020.
Yeah, and I think we've always thought that those two guys, Sean Payton and Drew Brees, were kind of tied together. And we know Drew Brees' age, and we know he's at the end of his career. Now, maybe Teddy Bridgewater changes that view for Sean Payton. But all you have to do is connect the dots. I mean, he was in Dallas. He turned down Oakland to stay in Dallas as an assistant coach. He still has a house here in Dallas. His kids grew up here, went to high school here, all those things. Still has a house here, spends off season here. So all those things factor in. He and Jerry are still tight. Maybe if the Cowboys had signed Jason Garrett to a contract extension, that would have kind of ended the talk, but they didn't. The fact is Jason Garrett's going into the season as a lame duck. So those are going to remain out there all season long and until and if the Cowboys sign Jason Garrett to an extension.
And the other factor that hovers over the possibility, and I'm just going to say possibility, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but the rumors do not go away. Sean Payton to the Cowboys. You've got Dak Prescott as the quarterback. I'd love to know what Sean Payton thinks of Dak Prescott. Is that the guy that Payton would want to carry into his tenure, or would Payton have ideas on someone else that he thinks would be an upgrade? I mean, it's clear the Cowboys are all in with Prescott. They're trying to sign him to a long-term deal, but I feel like that factor can't be ignored either, and maybe that's the thing that would keep Payton from taking the job. Maybe he doesn't believe that Prescott would be the best option to win the way that Payton would want to win.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, because once the Cowboys do sign Dak Prescott to a long-term deal, they're obviously committed to him for a long time, and they've said all the right things about that. But what if you do? What if you don't sign him this year? You get Sean Payton in here as your coach. Will he want Dak Prescott as his quarterback? All those things factor into it. So if they do sign him, maybe that does keep Sean Payton away. Maybe he says, hey, I'm better off with Teddy Bridgewater in New Orleans. I like what this kid can do. I've seen him in my offense in practice, and I'd rather Teddy Bridgewater than Dak Prescott. Maybe that is the thing that keeps him in New Orleans, is he believes in Teddy Bridgewater, or a quarterback that he can get in there if it's not Teddy Bridgewater rather than Dak Prescott. But I do think there is something to the rumors. I do think that Sean Payton would love to coach in Dallas. It's America's team, and to go win another Super Bowl with another team, it would put him in elite company, as you said.
Yeah, and if we accept the premise that every coach that has won a Super Bowl with one team is keenly aware that no one has ever pulled it off with a second team, it's not just the Cowboys that I would be looking at. When you look at Drew Brees and what he built with Brees over the course of a decade plus, I look at Cleveland. And look, Freddie Kitchens may end up being the next Vince Lombardi. I was surprised that they hired Freddie Kitchens, although I think in their mind, hey, it worked with him as the offensive coordinator. Let's not throw this possibility of Kitchens being a great head coach out the window and hire someone else. But there's going to be so much pressure on Kitchens, whether it's 1, 2, 3 years from now. If I'm Sean Payton, I'm very intrigued by coaching Baker Mayfield. Extremely intrigued by that possibility as well. And if the whole idea is go to a place where you think you can win another Super Bowl, doesn't matter whether it's Dallas or somewhere else, you're going to find the spot where you think you're most likely to push that team to the top of the mountain, wherever that team may be located.
Yeah, no question about it. I just think his relationship with Jerry is special, and he knows Jerry's going to spend the money and do the things that he wants to do. And I think he thinks he could be like Bill Parcells. Of course, he was here with Bill Parcells, but be like Bill Parcells and the relationship that Bill had with Jerry when Bill was head coach. He thinks that's the sort of relationship that Jerry and Sean can have. I'm sure. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm just guessing. So I think his number one choice would be Dallas, but absolutely, if the goal is to win another Super Bowl with another team, it may be better to go somewhere else like a Cleveland where you have a quarterback that you really think can win.
And you mentioned that relationship between Sean Payton and Jerry Jones, and obviously that's going to be a critical relationship if it would ever get to that point. But Stephen Jones has had more and more involvement. He's about the same age as Sean Payton. What do we know about their relationship? Because that's going to be the one, if Payton would ever end up in Dallas, that would endure well into the future.
Yeah, I think his relationship with Jerry is better, but I do think he gets along with Stephen. And you're right. We know, just like we were talking about quarterbacks at the end of the range, Jerry talks frequently about his age and how he doesn't have a lot of time left to win, which could prompt him to go out and get a big-name coach who's done it and won a Super Bowl just like he did with Parcells. But Stephen and Sean do have a good relationship. I just think his relationship with Jerry, Sean's relationship with Jerry, is more special.
I also feel like Jerry, and this is that roller coaster that he's been on for the last 20 years, or longer, where, Jimmy Johnson is the guy that helps you win a couple of Super Bowls, and then you run him off, and it goes the other way as you try to figure it out. And then you bring in Bill Parcells, and it goes well again. Then you run him off. And I feel like they're just getting to the point where Jerry and Steven are creating and sustaining and getting the team toward relevance. And if you bring in a Sean Payton and you basically give him the keys to the car, that kind of goes against what Jerry and Steven have been trying to do.
Well, yeah, they want to win, however that is, and I think a coach might be able to put them over the top. They've obviously drafted very well over the last few years. They feel like they have the people in place to get it done.
All right, well, now that we've ended that reckless speculation, we're going to move on to other things. But it's important because, folks, no matter what people say, that rumor is not going away.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.